Hello everyone. I'm really happy to be here with you. My name is Pepej. I'm the Global Challenge Manager here at Hello Tomorrow. We'll just wait for a single minute before starting this session for real, just in time for everyone, to join us and to make sure that we get as many people as possible. Okay, I think now it's time. It's time for us to start the station, and it's time for us to go. So, hi everyone. My name is Pepej. I'm the Global Challenge and Startup Network Manager here at Hello Tomorrow, and I'll be your host today for our third and final Ask Me Anything session about our Global Challenge. Welcome and thanks for joining us. This session will be indeed dedicated to the 10th edition of the Global Challenge here at Hello Tomorrow. I'm really happy to be here with you and with the presence, of course, of our esteemed guest, Stefano Valdesolo. He's a co-founder and CEO of DNAzyme. He is a previous, is one of our newly appointed Deep Tech Pioneer from 2023 in the medical, biotech, and pharmaceutical tracks. Hello, Stefano. How are you doing?
Hello, Puppet. Thank you. Very nice to be here, and hello to everyone.
We're really happy to have you here. So, what is happening today? The idea today is to cover the key information about the challenge, such as the timeline, evaluation criteria, and what value it can bring to you and, of course, to your startups. I'll start the presentation of the Global Challenge first, and then I'll let Stefano share his experience and open up, for some Q&A, so you can ask us all of your questions. But of course, you don't need to wait until the Q&A to interact with us. We have a good team that is working on backstage, and they will be more than happy to get your question and to answer them and to also forward some questions to us. To do so, on the right side of the panel, you should be able to see a message tab where you can chat with each other and with us, of course. A fun way to see if it works would be for you to tell us right now in the chat who you are and where you come from, because we know that you are kind of all over the world. So feel free to tell us and feel free to make us dream and travel a little bit. There is also, of course, a question tab, and feel free to ask any question throughout the session. And of course, use the upvote option. This will help us to find the most relevant question to you, since we won't be able to answer, since we might not be able to answer all of your questions. So let's dive right in, and I'll give you some more explanation about the Global Challenge, and afterwards, Stefano will be able to give you his perspective and share his experience about the Global Challenge. So, as you probably know, our goal at Hello Tomorrow has always been to support deep tech startup, but not any deep tech startup, mostly the early stage ones, and the ones that are developing pioneer solutions to address humanity's toughest challenges. That's why for the past 10 years, since 2014, not 2024, we've run the Global Challenge to give connection, visibility, and funding to the most promising deep tech startup of the world. How do we do that? Let's answer our three main questions, our three W's. Who can apply, when, and why should they apply? As for who can apply, the first criteria is, of course, innovation. Whether it is a product or a service, it must be based on a new technology, a scientific discovery, or a complex engineering process. As you can see, we cover all of the industries and technology. That means that it can go from aerospace to energy, to environment, to food and agriculture. You can directly see our 10 tracks for our 10th edition. The second criteria is, of course, the development. As I was telling you, we are looking for early stage startup. First, it means that it is a startup that has not been incorporated yet and that has raised, for instance, a maximum of Series A funding round. So if you are just looking, if you just start to look for your first client or your first investor, great news, you are fit for this challenge and you are in our target. 10th edition, as I was telling you, so 10th edition means also special improvements and special means. So this year we added a new cross-track prize to support pre-VC stage startups. It means that 7 startups from all the tracks and all the industry that you can see on the right will be to compete and have the opportunity to win 25K of equity-free money. So if you are one of the startups that we see way too much, having some doubts about your development and about your place in this competition, trust me, at Hello Tomorrow, there is a place for you. Last but not least, your solution should be obviously, and of course to us, because it's part of our value, this solution should be addressing an important challenge that we are facing today, whether it is in our environment or for society or within a specific industry. You need to have an impact, and that's what we are looking for with the startup that we are currently sourcing. So you must be wondering regarding the timeline and where we are currently right now. As you know, the application process is currently open and the final deadline is on September 22nd. This year, we have changed the format of the application with a shorter one and a faster first step. And if some of you submitted your application before the 31st of July, you should receive your feedback during the week. So, 22nd of September, once this date happens, we'll be closing the application and we'll review all of the application and contact all the selected deep tech pioneers by the end of October. For those of you who might be wondering what are the deep tech pioneers, well, those are the startups that we think fulfill all the criteria and being considered by the jury as among the best one in their category. We select each year we select around 700 to 800 startups that are deep tech pioneer. And if you are selected as a deep tech pioneer, this means that you get exclusive access to our events, and you can also join our community and have access to other perks available all around the year. We'll share more about that later. But if you want to get an idea, if you are a deep tech pioneer, it means that we kind of see in you the potential of being one of the top deep tech startup in the future, and it's also kind of a seal of approval from Hello Tomorrow. So going further in the timeline, once all of those deep tech pioneers are selected, they will have the opportunity to update and complete their application to get selected as one of the 7 finalists. So there will be around 80 finalists. So that means that there will be 7 finalists, more or less 7 finalists per track. as I showed you later. And we also have like 7 finalists for the Emerging Pioneer Prize. All of these finalists will be evaluated by our network of experts and our network of investors, and of course also a network of corporate partners. The finalists shall be announced by mid of January. So those finalists will have the great opportunity to join us in Paris for the finals of the Global Challenge, which will happen between the 14th and the 15th of March 2025. Save the date. And of course, the day before we'll be hosting a great event that really matters to us, our Investor Days, where the startups, the finalists, and the deep tech pioneer will have the opportunity to get to know some investors and create some good connection. Talking about connection, why should you apply? Our aim is really to get at the heart of the needs of all of these early stage startups. And we decided to focus ourselves on 3 key needs because we think that they are the ones that matter the most to startups: connection, visibility, and funding. So one of the main parts is, of course, connection, and we are offering connection all over our relevant network. In this network, as I was saying, you have investors, large corporate companies, fellow deep tech startups, and you also get the chance to get valuable connection with actors during the Global Challenge and during the Global Summit in Paris, but also all year long, because we are doing some other events and we are also sharing and networking with our investors and with our corporate partners, as well as with our subject matter experts and of course fellow deep tech startup. Regarding the possibility of connection, if it can help you, we also had some participants who managed during the Global Challenge and during the Global Summit to find new partners, new corporate partners, and new potential CEO for some of them. It happens. And if you are selected, of course, if you are selected to be one of our awarded person, we are also giving some in-kind prize, such as personalized coaching, which can also and always be really useful when you are presenting yourself to potential partners, potential investors, or potential clients. During the summit, we are also offering some global visibility. First of all, you will receive the seal of approval that I was saying, the Deep Tech Pioneer label, which means that you'll be recognized as one of the top startups in your industry on an international scale, since we are all over the world with our startups. Then during the Global Summit, selected finalists will get the opportunity to pitch on stage in front of an audience which count more or less 400 people at the same time. And of course, this audience will be shared around our network and around our social network. So it will get bigger than that in digital. And this Deep Tech Pioneer will also get the opportunity to present some demo during the Global Summit, where we have a dedicated exhibition area. But I'm sure Stefano will be able to tell you more about that. And of course, connection, visibility, and of course, funding. There are some financial perks, and we're offering this year 3 different prices. The first prize is our grand prize. It's 100k euros. The second prize is 25k euros. And we have, as I was telling you, a 25k euros for our emerging pioneer deep tech startup. But this is our 3 grand prizes. But even if you don't win one of these prizes, you'll get the opportunity to get funding through our investor days and also through the means of visibility and meeting some new corporate partners and some new investors. So once that you know that, you'll get the opportunity also to have a look at our different corporate partners. And what could be also of interest to you is that we are also, it will be to go deep and to dive right in our criteria for the application. And you might be wondering what could be and what could be the material for a winning application. First of all, it's really important to mention that your startup will be evaluated directly and strictly on what you submit on the application. So it's really important, and I really insist to make sure that the application is as complete as possible. We only accept, of course, applications that are already on the platform and that include all the necessary details in the initial form. It means that we won't accept information coming through emails or anything like that. And we also are only looking at applications that are, of course, in English, since English is the language of this challenge. And regarding the deep tech pioneer, we are using four main criteria: technological innovation, impact, economic viability, and of course the team. First, shall we have a look at the technical innovation? Once again, since this is a deep tech competition, we are looking for innovation in technology and not only on the business innovation. To demonstrate this, you need to provide a complete description of your technology. Don't hesitate to go into the details because we have experts in your field, so they know and they love to have all of those details regarding your application and regarding your technology. But of course, the description is not enough, and we'll need some external proof, such as how novel and realistic your technology is. Some proofs you can include, for instance, there are patents, publication, KPIs, among other things. The second criteria is impact. I told you at Hello Tomorrow, the values are really important to us, and we are looking for startups who can have a definitive impact on the planet. And we think that technology is and should aim at making the world a better place. So we are not only looking for impact at the global level, but it can also be an impact on your industry or on a larger scale as well. Third, we evaluate your startup on economic viability, of course. Here we need to see that you are targeting a market and that you know that market and that this market is sufficiently large and is relevant enough, and that your business model can convince your market, and that you also have some clear competitive advantages. Obviously, the content that you provide here should vary according to your maturity. And as I was telling you, we have also an open door for the less mature startup. But you definitely have to prove us that you know your market and that you really targeted some market, and that you are relevant in your analysis and in your explanations. Lastly, we are also looking at your team makeup. So first of all, one of our criteria is to having minimum 2% in your team to be eligible to participate in the global challenge. So meaning that if you are only working by yourself, you won't be able to participate this year, and we would love you to participate, but maybe you should wait to have someone else. And of course, as I was telling you about technology and business, we are looking for startup which have teams that are complementary, meaning that you need to have both expertise in terms of scientific, technical expertise, as well as industry and business expertise. So these are the most important criteria for us. And please make sure to fill out all these criteria and to fill out absolutely this fill this form as big as possible. And feel free to ask us if you have any question. With our team, we are definitely more than responsive and will be able to provide you with all of the information that you need, and we'll be more than happy to answer all of your questions. So before we go for the Q&A, I think Stefano would be more than happy to take the stage and to present you his firm, and of course present you his experience as a deep tech pioneer and as 2023 applicants. Stefano, the stage is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. Just give me a second. I am not finding the button to join the stage. Now you see me? Yes? Okay. And let me know when you see my screen. Do you see it?
Yes,
okay.
we can.
Okay, hello to everyone. I am Stefano Valdesolo. I'm co-founder and CEO of DNAzyme. We are a biotech startup developing active ingredients that are named as enzymes to prevent skin diseases. And we are tackling a massive human challenge that is UV radiation that is affecting to all of our lives, to all the people on our day-to-day. Here is a truck driver with years of exposure on the left side of his face. You can see the difference between one side of between the other one, and this is mainly because of UV radiation that it's known that is responsible for up to 80% of skin aging along our whole life. And this is because paradoxically it's our system that when it's trying to repair this damage caused by UV radiation fails, and it introduces mutations on our DNA that start to accumulate along our life, and it's in this accumulation along our life that we start running the risk of contracting different skin diseases. One of the most known and the most common one is actinic keratosis, that it's also demonstrated that it's affecting right now 1 in 8 people along worldwide. Current approaches to this problem are, on one side, UV sunscreens that are effective, but they have limitations regarding their use, and also they have toxic ingredients on their inside for our health, and also they are contaminant for the environment. And on the other side, you have plankton extract enzymes that are very limited because they don't have demonstrated repair efficacy, and also the purity is very low. So looking for a solution, we went to the Antarctic, that is the most hostile territory on Earth, and microorganisms on this territory succeeded to these conditions along the story of evolution, and we went there to study them. We went there for more than 10 years, and we understood how they work and what things they had on their inside in order to succeed to these conditions. And there we found these enzymes that are called photolysis that has the capacity to repair our DNA without introducing mutations. We can manufacture these enzymes in a very cost-effective way, and also with a very highly scalable manufacturing bioprocess. And our enzyme has more than 90% of purity. They do not require supplementary light to be inactivated and to start working on our skin. And also they start working immediately after the application. But the most important thing is that we, after a lot of studies and research that we have done, we demonstrated that this enzyme is able to penetrate the skin, get to the nucleus, and also repair almost 100% of your skin damage, from UV radiation in the major human skin cells. Our business model is B2B, and we're going to be a supplier of active ingredients for the laboratories that we're going to co-formulate and co-develop with them the final product that then they're going to manufacture and commercialize to the final consumer. We want to position in the segment of anti-aging and sun protection, being a very key player there and capturing 2% of the global market. In 1 year since we founded the company, that Hello Tomorrow helped us a lot in this pathway. We validated the 30 liters pilot scale-up production under GMP. We also demonstrated skin permeation in an in vivo model. And we already have an LOI from a laboratory that we're working with, that is from Uruguay. It's a very small one, but we also have a lot of interest from the major big labs along the worldwide. So we're working in conversations with them also. We're right now waiting for our ex vivo results that are in human skin, and with that, with those results done, we are continuing our manufacturing bioprocess scale-up and also opening our seed round in next month, hopefully. The team that is backing all this project is expert in extremophile organisms research. We also count on very deep knowledge about microbiology and scale-up of bioprocesses and also recombinant production. And on my side, I have experience in business management and HR with a background in HR. We are backed also by an expert team in cellular and molecular biology, a strategic partnership advisor, a dermatologist doctor, and also small molecule formulations expert. And we have just been admitted to the IndiBio San Francisco batch to work since October this year. That's who we are. I'm open to questions or comments, anything you want to ask me.
Perfect. Thank you, Stefano. Do we have a question in the chat?
Okay.
I think I don't see a question yet, but I do have some question for you.
Okay.
I think what could be interesting and what people could really be interested into is to know a little bit about your experience during the Global Challenge and during the Global Summit. Can you share a little bit more? Did you manage to come to the Global Summit in Paris last year? And if so, did you also make some nice and interesting connections?
Yes, of course. First of all, when we applied for the Global Challenge, we were only 3 months since we launched the company. So we were very, very early stage with a lot of doubts and uncertainty of how we are going to manage all the things that we need to be done. And Hello Tomorrow team and also the experience in the Global Challenge was March this year helped us a lot in order to understand what other things need to be done in order to scale up and grow our company fast, because this is how startups work usually. So we found very helpful connections, worldwide connections from investors, from corporates, from also other founders. I found a very big community also wanting to help and to provide support of anything that you could imagine. People from Asia, from Europe, from United States, also from Latin America. The worldwide connections that you could gain access being part of the Hello Tomorrow community was very important for us and helped us a lot in our path of growing fast. And also other thing that was for my experience very helpful was the inspiration about learning from other founders that were doing amazing things, from quantum computing solutions until biomaterial trying to replacing bricks or wood, for example. Just 2 examples to know the wide spectrum of what you could find in the Hello Tomorrow event and summit.
Perfect. Thanks a lot. I think we do have another question. It's coming from who's coming from Sofia, Ontario. So, nice question, but how was your experience with Hello Tomorrow and how did it help your business? Tell us a bit more about that, please.
Well, I would say that it was a kind of a game changer. In fact, we were trying to reach out for corporates, cosmetic laboratories, since we started, and it was very difficult to speak with them, to have a conversation, and to start getting feedback from them. And when we went to Paris, March this year, to the Hello Tomorrow event, we had the opportunity to having them in person and to having conversations right there, right? I remember going with my co-founder Juan to the spot of L'Oreal and just showing up and say, hey, we want to speak with you. We have this solution that you may like it, and we have a very interesting meeting there with 4 or 5 people from their team that were experts in the subject, and were the ones that I was trying to reach out and to get feedback from them through LinkedIn, for example. No, so that's just one example. But then we have like 4 other connections from other laboratories that were also important to keep the conversation going from there.
Okay.
So I would say it was very important for the business.
Did you also participated to the Investor Day, or you did not?
Yes, I went. I went to the Investor Day. It was one day before the Global Summit also, and it was a very. It was my first Investor Day in fair investor meeting like that, like pitching all the time, and it was also a good opportunity to learn from others, first of all, because you're during one day pitching to investors, getting feedback, and also speaking with other founders that are there doing the same as you. So learning it was in my side the most important thing. And then I made, I would say, 4 or 5 connections from investors. It was difficult because our startup is from South America, so I couldn't find too many investors that invest in this geographic place. But yes, I had 4 or 5 connections from investors, and that I keep the conversation going with them, and for me it was very important to be there also.
Okay, perfect. And regarding connection, because that's a theme that we are asked a lot, did you also manage to get connection with some ecosystem partners? By that, it could be whether it is the states or incubator or accelerators. Did the Global Challenge and the Global Summit help in any way?
Yes. I remember that there is an app that you get insight before the event, and you start doing networking and trying to fix meetings for during the event. But then the app remains open, so you can keep doing networking in that mobile solution. So there I made 2 or 3 connections from some accelerators from Europe, some also service providers of scale-up, bioprocess scale-ups. Also, I remember one that we had a conversation about clinical trials, and different ones that were also very good opportunities to have other points of view of different things that we were trying to reach out and to understand how these things work. So yes, we had a very good opportunities there too.
Perfect. Just to give you some information, guys, regarding the app Stefano was talking about. Just to give you some perspective, at the Global Summit, we are expecting around like 3,000 to 4,000 people. So that's a lot of people coming, and a lot of people being in the same place. So in order to help all of those people make the best connection as possible, we have launched an app that is basically a meeting manager helper, I would say that. So you could put your availability and the people that you want to meet, and therefore they will see that, and if they accept this meeting, you'll be able to have this meeting in some dedicated places. So it's one of the best way, to meet with some other investors and with other corporate partners and fellow startups. So it's really useful. And if you are going to Paris, I can definitely encourage you to use the app.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess you agree.
Yes, of course, definitely.
So one question that we also have for you, Stefano. So what were some of your organizational thematic principles that you utilized to help you implement this project? So mostly a question regarding your work as a CEO, I guess.
I didn't understand the question. Can you repeat it, please?
What were some of your organizational thematic principles that you utilized to help you implement this project?
By project, you mean the Hello Tomorrow Global Challenge, or?
I think it will be the Hello Tomorrow Global Challenge. So if I can rephrase the question, I think it would be, would you have any advice since you already performed the application and you've already been selected as a DTP? What would be your best advices to get a strong application and to go through all of those processes that could be, for some people, quite frightening? I understand it. So could you give some advices and some best practices, please?
Well, yes. So first of all, it was understanding which were the terms and conditions of the global challenge. Trying to understand which were the criteria that you were using to be selected as a deep tech pioneer, and understanding that since the beginning, I think it was important for us in order to understand if first of all, in which vertical our solution, our startup was fitting in, and then to understand that it also helped us in the applying process, which information we thought it was relevant for Hello Tomorrow team in order to understand that our solution was completing those criteria. So we took like 1 or 2 weeks in order to understand that full process, and then we started completing it. And it's very friendly, user friendly, the process. If you have done it in these weeks, you could see that, and then also you can leave it there and start from the other. Start from there if you wanted to continue. But first of all, but then it was to understand how could we take the major profit of being part of this network that is Hello Tomorrow, and our main goal at that stage was to start pitching the word about our solution and pitching corporates and pitching investors and start growing that networking. So we found the Hello Tomorrow network as a very important solution in order to reach those organizational goals that we had 1 year before. So that would be my advice, and also a little bit about our experience filling up the form and the postulation.
Perfect, thank you. And I'm really happy that it worked for you last year, and I really hope that it will work for all the people that are currently in the application process. What other question could we ask you? We had some question regarding your did you add a booth during the global challenge and during the global summit here in Paris? And how did it affected your experience at the global summit?
Okay, first of all, you will need to be very open to have a lot of conversations with many people, because you are all day stand up there and speaking with people. It was our main goal there. So you will be very tired after the event. But also that brings a lot of opportunities to do networking. For us, it was very important because of the early stage we were, and the booth was would help us a lot in order to gain visibility and to be there, and people was walking around and seeing, hey, what you're doing, it's very interesting, and you start talking. So if you don't have the booth, you lose those opportunities. So I would say that is the main reason because of why we've done it, and it was very helpful for us. It has like a B side of being very tired because you're the whole day there, stand up and speaking with people. But well, it's part of the job.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the job, but it's also, like it's also a pleasure, there are like so many people that are interested into your technology and what you are doing. So I guess it's really a fun experience as well.
Yes, it is. Definitely it is. And we enjoyed it a lot. I mean, I like speaking with people all the time. So for me, it was perfect.
We had a question regarding our network of investors and how many investors could we have at Hello Tomorrow. I think I can quickly show and reshare the slide regarding our investors up. And then if you want to tell us about a specific investor that you have in mind, I think it could be a good illustration of investors. So as for our corporate investors, there are many of them, and what you need to remember is that our investors are definitely are also our investors are mostly divided between different industries. So, for instance, if you are looking for investors regarding industry, we have investors such as DCVC. We also have Verve Ventures, IQ Capital. So there are a lot of them, and we could provide you with a complete list and with some for most and some of the investors that are mostly coming to the investor days. So that's not an issue. And if you are also looking for more information, such as the listing of all of our investors, I think some of my teammates could be able to share with you the link on our Investors Day that we have on our website. Do you want to tell us a little bit more regarding some specific investors meeting, or?
Yes, I can share with you two facts that I had the chance to pitch SOSB, the two partners, Pi and Ben, in the Investor Day, and I couldn't say that we closed the deal with IndieBio, that it's the accelerator from SOSB, because of that pitch, but yes, it was one more conversation that I continue having with them, because we started speaking with them before the event, but we keep it from there also. And and it's another opportunity that you have to show up and to demonstrate what you are building, right? So that is one, and then another that I had a chance it was Michael Krell from Sofinova, that they didn't invest they don't invest in companies as ours, but yes, he gave me feedback, and also that is a good chance to get feedback from a person that is all the time hearing from founders, and I received very valuable insight from him regarding our solution and how we could grow. So even though they sometimes they say because it's not our vertical, you gain important feedback or insights that also help you. So I could share those two that were the ones that I remember right now.
I mean, it's really strong feedback, and it's also really interesting to know because it's not always the right time for investors, and sometimes, even if it's a no, it can still be really useful for the rest of your development and the development of your firm and of your startup. So that's a really strong feedback that you just gave us. Other questions? Can you tell us a little bit more about your experience as a deep tech pioneer and how it helped you even out of the global summits?
Okay, I think I've said the most important things, but I would say that also one thing that I could add is that being part of the network and speaking this to some people that know Hello Tomorrow, saying, "Hey, I am a deep tech pioneer." There were some conversations that helped me in order to get them right. Hey, I'm working with Hello Tomorrow I am part of the network, and they say, "Hey, yes, I know them. So tell me more." And from there you start the conversation. So I would say that was something that I haven't said before about being a deep tech pioneer, and well, the opportunity of being the potential of being selected as a finalist in the global summit also is, I think that it's more visibility that when you're in very early stage, there's more people that is reading about your company and knowing what you're doing. So I see a value also in there, because the people that are reading your form are sometimes corporate, sometimes investors, and so you're getting to know more your solution, and I see value there also.
Yeah, I mean, it's really diverse in terms of people that we are having into our juries. And I guess you must have seen it when you went to Paris and when you watched the pitch. The jury is really diverse, and it's going from investors to corporate partners to subject matter experts. So that's really useful. I guess we have another question regarding the application. And that question could be really, your answer could be really interesting. What type of impact data did you show in your application?
Okay. Well, we our main arguments were on two sides regarding impact. One was, of course, human health, that we were tackling a human problem that hasn't solution yet. I mean, UV sunscreens are effective, but it's not the solution. So there we argument. Our argument was that we had a better solution that could help sunscreen in order to get the human population healthier, right? So that was one. And then regarding the more technical side of what happens inside your cells and how we could offer and deliver this solution to people was the second argument that completed that that solution and that impact to human health. Then we mentioned in some parts of the form that our process was ecological. Like we use biological ingredients. We don't contaminate with chemicals. That we were going to avoid using toxic ingredients on health because on products because that has a negative impact on your health. So I would say that it's trying to understand where is your solution best delivered and how you could argue that and show the differential and the competitive advantage that you have in order to claim that for the postulation.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thanks a lot for your answer, Stefano. If I could complete it a little bit, the idea is mostly, and I think the example of your startup is really a strong one because it's also answering a lot of issues regarding issues for the planet, issues for humanity as a whole, even though like the main point is humanity and health. And cherry on the cake is also being environmental friendly. So the idea is mostly to give us as much detail as possible. You are talking to fellow deep tech experts, so do not hesitate to go deep into the science and to show us by facts what you are doing, because we are interested to know what type of impact it can be, if it is on society or if it is on humanity on a health scale, or if it is for the planet. All type of impacts are interesting to us, and it's part of our core values. So feel free to share it, and we will consider it.
Well, just let me add there that you remind me some other point that we highlighted on the forum, that was the social side of having, for example, an active ingredient that you could use and be outside. There is also a side effect of not being able to be exposed to the sun. That, for example, people that has a precancerous condition or even a skin cancer cannot afford, like they cannot go out in a free way as maybe other skin healthy people could do it. So there we had another argument in order to show that our solution could help these people to live a normal life, right? And don't be worried about putting SPF 50 of more, because if not, they cannot show like 5 minutes to the sun.
That's definitely the type of deep tech solution that we like, if I can say. It's basically technology helping people. So that's what we try to support here at Hello Tomorrow. So we do have 5 minutes remaining. If there are like no other questions, do you want to share something else with the audience, Stefano?
No. Just say thanks and good luck. Enjoy the process of filling up the form. That is very good. And then if you're selected, hard job and I hope you be lucky in the process.
I hope that they get as lucky as you, and I hope that I'll be and will be able to see as many of them in Paris for the global challenge and for the global summits. So I do have one last question. How did you receive traction for your projects?
How do I receive?
How did you receive traction?
Traction of our company or traction of Hello Tomorrow?
I think it's for your company. It's for your company, I guess.
Okay, I define traction by commercial interest. By first of all, if there's not a market fit of your product, you don't have business in the future. So, and biotech had we have a lot of uncertainty there. So, getting feedback from your customers since the beginning is for us is very important. So I measure traction in conversations with different potential clients. That's the first one. Second one is investor traction. I would say that are interest from investors. So I have a funnel of the investors that I want to pitch, and then I measure how much of them answer to me, how much of them say no because they are not interested in the technology, and from the ones that I have conversations, I try to be very open on the listening and to hear what they are trying to say to me in order to see if we could take it into account to grow and to improve. And then those are the second most important. Then the third one, that are more technical things, are hitting milestones that we have defined before. So when we go completing milestones and doing small steps in order to the main goal that we have, well, I measure that also and communicate it to commercials and investors.
Perfect. Thank you, Stefano. That was our last question and our last answer for this session. If you want to say a final word before I close the session, the floor is yours.
No, just thank you for hearing, and feel free to reach out if you have any doubt of whatever you need. I am free and open.
Perfect, thank you. And that's the spirit of our Deep Tech Pioneer Network, is to help each other and to help thrive together, because we are really bound by science and by technology. So feel free to help your fellow Deep Tech Pioneer Network. So it was really great to have you guys all of you guys for this last session of our Ask Me Anything session. Stefano, it was a pleasure to have you here. I think you've been really helpful to all of our potential applicants. And it was great to see you answer all of these questions and share your experience at the Deep Tech Pioneer Network. And as for our fellow and all of the potential applicants that are here during this session, I encourage you to participate, and I encourage you to submit your application and make sure to submit it until the end. And feel free also to make sure, and feel free also to ask us any question if you need. This is indeed the last Ask Me Anything session, but we are still in contact. We can still help you if you have any questions regarding the global challenge. And please don't wait until the last minute to submit. There might be a lot of you, so feel free to. I encourage you to send your application as when the application is ready. And for all of you, if you need to have more information on what we are doing at Hello Tomorrow, feel free to subscribe to our newsletter, the course for startups, and we'll send you most of some of our most relevant online events and some other opportunities that could be really helpful for you startups. So it was definitely a pleasure, and I wish you all the best luck for the last few weeks of competition, and I can't wait to see all of your applications for the Global Challenge. Stefano, it was a pleasure. See you.
A pleasure. Thank you very much. Bye-bye to all. Thank you.